gone home.
No, but here's some gay furry
No!
Hello, my children, and today we're talking about a game. A spooky game. What makes it spooky? Furries.
Oh, please. I have no soul.
The game we're talking about today is a great game. 10 out of 10 with a seal of approval, despite coming out in 2001. God, I feel old. I find myself coming back to every update and buying every DLC. I may have a crippling crack addiction, but without further ado, let's talk about the FPS roguelike Gunfire Reborn. You start each game wet and alone like me after I talk to a woman.
Pepper spray? That sounds delicious! Ah, I was wrong! I was horribly wrong!
With nowhere to go, you will enter the underground tomb. The enemies you face in this tomb can only be described how a racist man sees all Asians. Rated E for everyone looks the same. Killing enemies will drop things like soul essence, which can be used to upgrade your talent tree after each run. You can unlock permanent upgrades like the vault, which will contain things like either a obstacle course or an elite battle. For the most part, all of these are fun. For the most part, unless you come across this salamander looking fuck, in which case, if you're just starting out the game, you're not killing him. I really hope I was bad when I first began, because I remember this fucking demon being nigh impossible, and don't be surprised if he just scurries back in the fucking hole he came out of. After completing a vault, you are rewarded with scrolls. There are a lot of scrolls you will unlock throughout your playtime. So I will mention a few. These scrolls I would like to talk about very briefly, is what I'm going to call greedy scrolls. The main idea behind these scrolls is you earn more, but with the downside usually being you can't get rid of what you take or having your options limited. But overall, they are really fun because we all need a slice of Nevada inside our hearts. God bless. Back to what enemies drop. Yeah, remember we're talking about that. The rest of the items they drop are things like weapons, health items, ammo, and stuff that help you with your current run, but will not carry over. With all of that out of the way, we can now talk about monster variety. And first of all, look at these beetles. Look at that. That's a fucking chonker right there. Leave no survivors. Oh, and there's this enemy that does a lot of damage, so make sure you dodge at the right time. Oh, and there's this enemy that does a lot of damage, so make sure you dodge at the right time. And oh, there's this enemy that does a lot of damage, so make sure to dodge at the right time. Who am I? Okay, besides my oversimplifying of enemy variety, it's pretty good, you know. Look at that. There's a lot of them. Different shapes and sizes. We can now talk about weapon types. You know, you have your pistol, you know, your shotguns. You know, you got a rocket launcher here, minigun there, you know. And then you have a fucking brick. And holy fuck, is that the suck? With a side of domestic violence. Oh yeah! Every weapon in this game is unique. In that every gun has its own trait, be it something simple like having the largest mag size, like the minigun, okay? Or it could be something a little bit more complex. Like a rifle that has a secondary fire that charges up, so it shoots like a high damaging projectile, okay? So then it turns more like a sniper-like type of weapon, okay? and who we decide to give these weapons to is important. So let us talk about the characters you play as. We won't be talking about all of them. Before we get into it, the main idea is they have a primary ability and a secondary ability. You can check their stats and the random upgrades you will see just going into heroes in the main menu. So without further ado, we're going to be talking about a couple. We won't be talking about all of them because there's a lot of them, like especially if I include the DLC ones, which I recommend DLC 2 because it has the brick and the suck. And let's go into it. If you hate everyone, including yourself, the dog might be up your alley. With his primary ability allowing you to combo your primary and secondary weapon. My favorite combo is pretty nice. I call it double domestic. And if you love delivering pipe bombs to people's houses, the secondary got your back. Being an impact grenade. Overall, if you love the weapons in this game and want to elevate that love for weapons, pick the dog. I will warn you, however, when it comes to his free trees, one of them is pretty much strictly defensive, and even though you'll be trying to get the other two trees, the game will say, fuck you, and will somehow always find a way to give you the green tree. And defense is for pussies, so yeah. If you ever wanted to cosplay as a white boyfriend, the turtle has your back and his fist firmly planted in some drywall. His primary will give you a shield and an enhanced dash. It does more, but that's just to simplify it. With your secondary, the more you move around, the harder you punch. Kind of like when she runs away, you want to punch her harder until she stops crying. Now, with the random upgrades, there's several speed upgrades, so we can quickly enter the kitchen if she ever burns the casserole. Okay, that was fucking horrific.
Bitch, I will crawl over there and I will skull fuck the shit out of you.
I got a couple honorable mentions, like the red panda from DLC 2 and the white tiger, which is base game. We are about finished, so let's wrap it up. The game is a delight. We haven't even talked about the other game mode, which is more like a survival. The many different gameplay modifiers for just the normal gameplay, which we have been talking about this entire video. Nightmare difficulty and above. And I think that's about it. This game has a lot to offer. It'll keep you nice and busy. And yeah, I hope you liked the video. Join us next time where I talk about another game.